everybody, and welcome back. A couple days before Christmas here, and just giving you an update on kind of where I'm at here. As you can see, I have kind of this project pretty well built out. Oh, hello, little friend. Trying to scare me here. I built a second layer up top here, as you can see. Let's see if we can jump up there and kind of see a little bit of it. But you can see that I was like, I'm just going to build a couple things here and we'll go ahead and finish up the top as well because, why not? We have plenty of room. So I decided to build up the top. I'll kind of show you where we're at. And then what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to kind of show you some future projects that I have lined up. And other things that I've actually been doing. I've been kind of busy late at night because I can't sleep. And then I'm like, just go dink around with Minecraft. This is the main room right here. As you can see, we have kind of like a kitchen / living room area, and then up here we're gonna do some bedrooms. I put some beds up here because I was like, while I'm building this, I'm gonna need to sleep. I don't want to get mobbed by the mobs, so to speak. So, and then back here we obviously have kind of that little tunnel that enters into the back of each house, and I can always build back here and do some shops, but my attention is kind of redirected towards a couple other things, and I'll get to those here in a little bit. But each one of these is pretty much the same, and the only difference is the one at the very end over on that side. It basically is just just kind of leads out into beyond the wall, kind of little cave, and then that cave leads beyond the wall. Nothing too spectacular. But I built this little kind of side path out here into these little guys, and I built these guys because I was like, it just doesn't look good with just that bottom layer. Let's build another layer. I have all this room. It'll be perfect. So the first three, for going from left to right, are pretty simple. They're these guys right here. You kind of have like a little kitchen area and then a little bedroom / living room area. Just kind of these little studios. But the coming down here, they're a little bit smaller, and the reason is that I started digging out here and I started hitting the back side of this hill and opening it up, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I definitely want to keep things out and keep a couple layers from myself and outside the world. So the wall goes right above us right here, and I didn't want basically a creeper to come in and blow part of this up, and then all of a sudden you have this huge open wall, and you have a bunch of either zombies or skeletons or something that you just don't want coming in here. So these two are a little bit smaller, and that's okay. Kind of like a small studio. So you can do a living room / kitchen / what do you call it? Bedroom in here. And I've lived in a studio, and they're not too bad. I'm in Denver. I haven't actually talked about that. I'm in Denver, and I lived downtown for a little bit, and had a studio down there. And they, if it's just by yourself, it's kind of perfect. Anyway, moving along here. I'll get one last kind of peek at this, and we'll move on. I will tinker around with these as I go on. I always tinker. I tinker so much with these little things. So this is it. This is the kind of the finished project, so to speak. I was pretty happy with how it came out because, it is kind of basic and repetitive, but I'm okay with that. You can kind of change the interiors on how you want it. Also, we have a little harbor with some docks and boats here, and if you go out there towards my big statue out there, that's where you actually can leave and go out to all the other worlds. So what I'm going to do real quick is, because I didn't start this early in the day, we're going to go to sleep before all the monsters come out, because I'm about to kind of leave here a little bit. Not leave, but we're going to go outside the town just a tiny bit, and I just don't want to get mobbed by monsters. If you saw my video of when I was in the water trying to get the buried treasure, you could tell that I was like, so annoyed with these monsters. I'm like, come on guys, just let me get the get this treasure. Leave me alone. But anyway, on the other side of my city, there's a main entrance, and I I kind of did the same thing on that side, is what I'm doing here, and I'll show you here in a second. But there's a main entrance there, but there's nothing really over here. So I was like, I have to make some type of main entrance. So I made this. It's nothing major. It's nothing spectacular, but it's functional, and that's kind of what that's the best way I can describe how I build things. I build functionality, and then I go for aesthetically pleasing afterwards. So we have these end crystals here, which are built from Ender Eye and a ghost here, and then glass. And obviously, I made mine with some quartz on the bottom, and it's cool. It looks cool, but there's actually a function behind this, and it's kind of a fun function. Nothing that I'm hoping to use, but if I ever get attacked by a bunch of mobs or something, just bear with me and pretend here for a second. If I get attacked by a bunch of mobs and they're swarming over here, and my sword breaks, my arrow breaks. Again, this is probably never going to happen. I don't have anything. You can actually break this glass and break one of these, or try to break one of these, and it's a huge explosion. If you've ever done this, then you know it's a big explosion. It's a huge explosion. You'll end up killing yourself, but this one will actually detonate this one. When that happens, it'll basically wipe out anything that's around this area, leaving a huge hole and a lot of destruction. It will make it very tough to actually pass through, because it'll be, like I said, it's a big explosion. The reason I know is because when I was sitting here messing with these the other day, I accidentally hit one and blew it up, and it made a massive hole, which makes it just so tough to navigate through and kind of move through. So what I was thinking about doing was maybe put a bunch of water underneath it, so if it does explode, it's just kind of a water trap or whatnot. I haven't really gotten there yet, but we will. So kind of makes it to where it's like a last resort effort. If I'm just running out of stuff and I don't want to, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in a fiery glory, so to speak. Of course, this is never going to happen, but for imaginative purposes, it's kind of fun to think about. But anyway, so I have one of these on the other side, and it's actually inside of on the other side. It's not inside my actual gate that leads out. But I'll show you that probably in another episode. Let's move to the other thing I've been kind of working on. A couple things, actually. So there's obviously that entrance, but also we're going to go here. Oh, lots of cows. Hello, cows. And I talked about the kind of the famous Petra in Jordan and the ancient city of it. This is obviously not Petra, and it's not a look-alike, but it's just kind of the idea behind it. Something into the mountain that looks kind of cool. There's no functionality to this right now. If you give me some time, I will make some functionality out of this, but it's a short. On one side, it's kind of short, and the other side, I'm splitting it in half from up to down. On one side, it's short, and the other side, it's kind of a deeper side of it. So the functionality of that is kind of, it kind of limits it, but I was like, this is gonna be cool when people, when you come in from outside the city, because I do go out and I do leave actually this side, because there's a bunch of open waterways, and if you go about this way, you can actually hit my other city with the big soccer stadium. If you go through here, there's a water channel I made over there, but also you can go out to the oceans and get there as well. But this is my main path of getting out. There's another one over there that I've been starting to use a little bit, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But I was like, we'll just make something kind of cool that looks kind of cool. And again, no real function to it right now, but we'll get there. And I know I said I'm typically, functionality before aesthetics, but that's okay. This one I was like, we'll just build, we'll make it look cool. The function is to look cool. This little guy over here used to be just dirt and a couple trees, and then there's a couple trees back in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to farm all this out, and we're going to farm back in here. And I made this into a kind of like a little bakery slash brewery slash place you can get some stuff. Obviously, I haven't filled it out or anything. These are all empty, nothing in there. just some seeds and everything and stuff in there. But up here we do have kind of like a little bar area, so to speak. A couple barrels. I haven't put anything in there, but I have lots of these glass bottles that I can fill up over time and put in there. So we will definitely do that as I go back and forth, because my mind cannot seem to decide on one thing or another. I just go back and forth between projects. I've got a great view up here. Kind of see the little ski slopes that I have, and you can see the little build into the hillside here. So that kind of completes the project Hillside. And for now, I'm sure I'm going to tinker with it a lot more, but we'll get there. Alrighty, let me show you the other project I've been kind of working on. And while we're walking over there, I'll kind of preface a little bit of my thought. So, as you know, I'm a huge history guy. I love reading about it, love learning about it. I've been to Rome, been to Pompeii. I mean, I've been to Italy, I should say. But Rome and Pompeii were pretty cool. I would recommend if you go to Rome, you don't hit the historical sites, and that's about it. And then eat on the west side of the river. That's where all the good food is. Kind of over by the Vatican. I think I got that right. That's where all the locals are, and that's where the good stuff is. On the east side is where all the tourists go, and the food's not as good. But also been to like Pompeii, been to Florence and everything. Florence was my favorite by far. If you do get a chance, spend some time in Florence. It is hands down one of my favorite places to go. As far as my travels go. But talking about Rome and Pompeii, I was like, I'd love to. It'd be cool to do like a bathhouse, like an ancient Roman bathhouse. And I've seen these up close, and they're obviously very cool. And if you get a chance, Pompeii is amazing because it's excavated. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not. It's just all under the ground, and there's nothing really there. And no, there's a lot of it. There's a lot there. It's a full city, and you're walking on like the streets of it and everything, and it's really cool. So what I decided, I was like, it'd be cool to have like a little bathhouse over here. And being the nerd that I am, I also watched the History Channel a lot when I was little, and still kind of do. I actually watch History Vault, which I think it's a paid subscription, but if you get a chance, I recommend it if you like kind of that stuff, because History Channel, I feel now, is just more, I don't know, just live TV, and you're like, I don't really care about this dude who's selling, this or whatever. But anyway, not to diss on anyone, I like the History Channel to be more historic. So right here we're going to do, I still haven't figured it out. I actually have some drawings of it, but this is the area I'm going to do it in. I originally wanted one of my towers to be it, but I was like, it just isn't going to work up front, kind of next to mine, but that wasn't going to work with what I wanted to do. I mean, you could make it in a bathhouse, but it didn't look like an ancient Roman. It just looked like just like, oh cool, this is a building with a bath in it. So, this is where it's going to go. As you can see, I kind of dug out everything, but I still haven't gotten really anything built out. I just want to dig it out and kind of show, future plans. So I'm going to build this guy out. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this one, I think, and build it out, make sure it's done with functionality as well as, the looks and aesthetics that I want, instead of just building it for functionality and then working on it afterwards. So that's on the agenda for the next build. If you guys have any ideas, any thoughts or anything, let me know about that, because I would love to hear it. The other thing I'm going to do on this side with this is I'm actually going to fill this in with dirt, kind of where all this ice is. We're going to fill it in and try to go back to there, so you kind of have this kind of winding river type thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build like a little... it's going to be part of the bathhouse, but it's not. It's not going to be an actual like bathhouse section. It's going to be kind of like a forest area with some shrubs and everything with some fountains and everything like that. That's kind of the idea behind that, with a little, like maybe some gazebos, some Roman architecture with gazebos. But we'll see. This one's gonna probably be. I'm gonna take and build this side of it first, and then we'll go and build this side, I'm gonna try to kind of spruce up everything. And there's a little fox just hanging out over there. I think he's got a fish in his mouth. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan for now. Oh boy, getting hit with a trident. So why don't we call it good from there, since getting attacked right now. And thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any ideas, and everybody take care.